What's up, guys? You are watching Ceylon Rankin YouTube channel. Today onwards, we are going to start a new web development series using C Sharp with ASP.NET. This will be taking 60 days to cover up the total course, and I will be considering this video as the zeroth lesson because I want to explain you the total agenda today. So we will be going in a systematic order, step by step. So I will be explaining all those concepts from the beginning level to the hero level. So you don't want to worry. So I will be giving you the concepts deeply. So before to start the agenda, I want to give my sincere gratitudes to my mentors, Madam Utpala, Madam Janani, and Dinesh sir. They are the people who motivate me and show me the force that I'm doing, and always they are the people who motivated me. So thank you very much. So we'll see the agenda today. Hi guys, first of all, we will understand what are the things we have to learn in this total web development series. I told you this is a real-time web development series, so you want to understand lot of things. So all those things I will be teaching from the scratch. So the first thing is the basics of ASP.NET M MVC. MVC is an architecture, so you want to understand the technology, this ASP.NET technology and its architecture. And the second thing is the CRUD operations using entity framework. You will be wondering what is this framework and what is called entity framework. So as this level I can explain you, a framework is a collection of libraries. So that is not the real definition for a framework, but at this level it will be fine. So entity framework is the framework that we are using to connect the databases in C Sharp ASP.NET languages. So according to, I will be explaining the difference between the language and the technology and the framework little bit. Then it will be easy for you to understand this one. So when you are in the university level, first of all, you are learning the core language. Core language means if you consider the Java language, you will be learning the core Java. That is the programming language you are learning. If you're learning C sharp, uh, if you're learning C sharp, you will be learning the core concepts of the C sharp. So I will be considering it as a core C sharp. And the second thing, after learning this, what we call the core concepts, you have to learn the technology. You have to learn the technology. So this technology, and in Java it will be covered as advanced Java. uh, as an example, the JSP and servlets are considered as the uh, components of the advanced Java. And if you are learning the C sharp, the technology is the ASP.NET what we are using. And then after completing these things, when you are getting experience of these things, you have to learn the framework. Then you will be wondering, why do you want to learn the frameworks? Because entire industry is running with the framework. So in the industry you have to involve with the massive project, so you can't do all those things from the scratch. So there will be inbuilt and there will be ready made and 80% ready made things. So those things are called as the framework. So as in what we call Java, these are the framework. Spring and Hibernate we can consider as the framework. And also if you go with the what we call the ASP.NET technology, so the to connect with the database we can use the entity framework. So that's why we are using the framework, so it will be easy to do our task. So right, that's enough for the differences between language, technology, and the framework. And when we consider about the code operations, there are two methodologies that we are using. One is the database first approach. That means we are first creating our database, and after that we are moving to the coding part. And the second approach is the code first approach. In here we are first doing the coding things, and we'll be moving to the database things. Okay, this thing I will be explaining deeply. Both of these methodologies I will be explaining when we move forward. The third point what I want to explain is the CRUD operations. CRUD operations using jQuery and Ajax. These are uh, these are the client-side languages, the components of the JavaScript. So we have to use these things for the validation. So with this thing, I will be explaining the validations, validations. It will be coming as two formats. One thing is the client-side validations, and the second thing is the server side validations. So right, then because these in this way, if you are following the things, then it will be easy for your university level projects, and also this will be easy for the what we call the industry level projects, because this is the way, this is the certain methodology that they are following. So then after that we will be discussing about the multi-layer architecture. Then in order to build a project in a methodical or the systematic way, we have to know about the design patterns. I will be explaining what are the design patterns that we are using here. And uh, now after that, if you are making a project, if you are creating a project, if you are designing a project, you want to have several functions. As an example, if you are using an e-commerce application, first there will be the login functions, and then the order handling and the product handling, the shipment, the payment, like that way. Those are called the functions means the certain things what the user roles are doing. There will be two user roles or three user roles, like client client user role and the admin user role, like that way. So the things what the user roles are doing are called as the functions. And there are non-functional things as well. Non-functional things means the user are not doing these things, but the system is doing those things indirectly. As an example, the performance, security, and the efficiency, robustness, those things we can consider as the non-functional things. So when you are when you are designing and when you are developing a real-time web project, you have to understand both functional and the non-functional requirements. So we will be discussing uh, uh, all those forms of the functional requirements according to the users, and also certain non-functional requirements as well. So after that we want to integrate these things. Integrate means you are merging the functions. To merge the functions, you want to have the knowledge of the version control system. So version control system integration. I will explain system integration. So you want to have the version control system, version control system. There we will be learning the knowledge of Git, and the next thing is the authentication and authorization authorization uh, the last thing what we want to know, after doing all of those things, you want to make a PDF or the Excel sheet of the report. So there will be a report of the database. So we are calling as the getting report or the generating reports. Generating report. Okay, guys, these are the things what we are going to learn in our total web development series. The basics of ASP.NET MVC, the CRUD operations using entity framework, and the things what we learn, database first approach and the code first approach. And here the misspelling about this one when I'm explaining. Uh, what we call the framework. This framework we are learning the entity framework since we are learning about the C sharp. So the C sharp, ASP.NET and the entity framework we are learning. So there we are learning the database first approach and the code first approach, as well as we are learning the operations using jQuery and Ajax. There we are learning the validations, the multi-layer architecture, design patterns, and the system integration using Git, and authentication and authorization, and as well as we are learning how to generate a report. So I ask you to watch all those videos from start to end, then you can understand deeply all those concepts. So I ask you to stand tuned with us. So thank you very much.